The debate will be crucial. Both sides know it. And how is Donald Trump preparing? We met up with him a little more than an hour away from Secretary Clinton, and he was quick to react to what Mrs. Clinton had just told us about him. Donald Trump and Mike Pence right there in the must-win state of Ohio as well. We sit here in the great battleground state of Ohio, 63 days to go. How badly do you need to win Ohio to win that White House?
Well, we're up in Ohio, and you see the kind of crowds we're having in Ohio, and I think we're going to win it, and certainly I think it would be very important to win Ohio.
People have said Republicans do not win the White House without Ohio.
Well, I've heard that, and certainly we intend to win Ohio. We should win Ohio.
20 days until the first big debate.
Yeah.
Are you ready?
You never know, but I think so.
Are you
I do
prepping?
think so. Yeah, sure. I'm prepping, maybe not in the traditional way. When I had the debates, I had 11 debates with the, as you know, in the primaries. And I was very satisfied. Everybody else was very satisfied with the way I did. And I think I'm working the same way I did there.
But this will be a lot different. I mean, there'll be two candidates on that stage. It won't be, you know, the list that was there during the primary.
Well, we started off with 17, and in the end, we had just a few left. So it's not that much different.
Any mock debates?
Haven't thought about it much. It could happen, but haven't really given it much thought.
Let me ask you, Mr. Trump, you just traveled to Mexico. Hillary Clinton, who's also here in Ohio, as you know, told us a short time ago that you choked, that the idea of Mexico paying for this wall has been central to your campaign. Did you choke?
So let me just tell you about choking. I don't choke. She chokes. Look at the deal she's made. She's responsible for so many bad things that have happened to our country, including the signing by her husband of NAFTA, which has drained our country of its jobs. I've been given A+, including by you people, but I've been given A+ for the job I did in Mexico. And the fact is, Mexico will pay for the wall. It was discussed that it wouldn't be discussed, but they know my stance, and I know their stance.
Did the Mexican president break his word in talking about it?
And we had ground rules, and that's okay. See who wins in the end. We'll win. 100%. They're going to pay for the wall.
And let me just ask you about what one of your top surrogates said in the last 24 hours. Rudy Giuliani said that Donald Trump would, quote, find it very difficult to throw a family that's been here in the United States for 15 years with kids who are now American citizens out of this country, that is not the America that Donald Trump wants. So will some of these families be allowed to stay?
First of all, he's 100% right. That's very difficult. It's a very difficult thing to do. What we're going to do is we're going to build a tremendously strong and powerful border. People are going to come in, but they're going to come in legally. We're going to get rid of all of the bads, the gang members, the drug lords, and all of the different people that are here and that shouldn't be here. We're going to clean things up. Once we have a secure border, totally secure, we're going to take a look at the people that you're talking about.
Does that mean some of those 11 million undocumented immigrants will be allowed to stay?
It could be, but what's going to happen is if you're going to be a citizen, you're going to have to leave and you're going to have to come in.
And if they don't want to become a citizen?
Then we'll have to make a determination what happens when the border is secure.
So you're open to them staying here undocumented?
I'm going to make a decision, or somebody will, whether it's me or somebody else, because perhaps, depending on the time, by that time we'll have a secure border, we'll have a wall, we will have stopped the drugs pouring into the country.
But David, let me also say, it's very appropriate to have lots of interest in what a President Donald Trump will do on illegal immigration. Donald Trump put the issue of illegal immigration at the center of the national debate. But what I'd also like to see, and I think millions of Americans would like to see, is more clarity about Hillary Clinton's plan.
Governor Pence, you're making news this week in revealing that you'll release your tax returns.
Sure.
And
be a pretty quick read.
Pretty quick read. I'm curious, do you think the American voter has the right to see the tax returns of Donald Trump before they vote on Election Day?
You know, I'm very pleased to provide our tax returns. You're going to find out my family's a middle-class family, and that there'll be pretty clear evidence that we haven't profited from our 16 years in and around public life, as some others have.
Governor, I'm asking about Donald Trump and every presidential candidate going back 40 years.
I'm releasing my tax returns. Donald Trump will release his tax returns. I'll give mine to you all this week, and he's going to provide his after a routine audit is done.
As far as my taxes are concerned, the only one that cares is the press, I will tell you. And even the press, I tell you, it's not a big deal.
You don't think there are any voters out there who...
I don't think so, no. I think people don't care. I released the most extensive financial review of anybody in the history of politics. It's either 100 or maybe more pages of names of companies, locations of companies, et cetera, et cetera. And it's a very impressive list. And everybody says that. But I've released a massive list, far more than you get. You don't learn much in a tax return.
Tax returns do reveal how much someone's paid in taxes and how much they've given in charitable giving.
Well, that's okay, but I've given a list on, things that I've given to charity. I have given that list.
But you won't reveal what you paid in taxes unless the audit is done.
When the audit is done, I will release.
What's the most important issue that they talk to you about?
Jobs. Most important jobs.
Trump says he will be back to Ohio often, and often citing his opponent's stamina.
Let me ask, you've often talked about Hillary Clinton's stamina.
Right.
You've even said she doesn't look presidential.
I really do believe that.
Well,
yes.
What do you mean by that?
Well, I just don't think she has a presidential look. And you need a presidential look. You have to get the job done. I think if she went to Mexico, she would have had a total failure. We had a big success.
But when you talk about her not looking presidential, are you talking about aesthetics here?
I'm talking about general. Hey, by the way, she says things about me that are horrible. As an example, the single greatest asset I have, according to those that know me, is my temperament. But she came up with this Madison Avenue line, oh, let's talk about his temperament. It's the single greatest asset I have is my temperament.
You're 70, she's 68. Do you think the American people deserve to know more about both of you and your medical histories?
Sure, I do. But I would love to give specifics as far as I'm concerned. And if she wants to do it, I'll do it 100%.
Why not go first?
I might do that. I might do that. In fact, now that you ask, I think I will do that.
You will?
Yeah.
What will your temperament be on that debate stage 20 days from now?
I can't tell you because I'm not sure that I know. It'll depend. You're going to have to adjust. You're going to have to see. You need flexibility. In life, David, you need flexibility. It may be very nice and it may be very respectful and it may not. Depends on how she treats me.
You heard Donald Trump there promise he will release more of his medical history. We did reach out to his campaign late today and they told us, quote, they will keep us posted on the timing.